Trusty Tate and Rachel Walker were busy wrapping a birthday present for Trusty's friend Charlotte. "There," said Trusty, tying the ribbon. "Charlotte is going to love this silver hairband. It is so pretty." "Are you nearly ready, Rose?" Mrs. Tate called up the stairs. "Dad and I have to leave in 2 minutes." "Just coming, Mom," Trusty replied. Then she turned to Rachel. "I cannot believe we are going to another party. Can you?" she grinned. Rachel shook her head. "I wonder what is going to happen this time," she said excitedly. The two girls shared a secret. They were friends with the fairies, and while Rachel had been staying with Trusty's family, the girls had been helping the party fairies at Fairyland. Grumpy Jack Frost had sent his goblin servants into the world to cause trouble at human parties. When a party fairy arrived to put things right, a goblin tried to steal her magical party bag and take it back to Jack Frost. Rachel and Trusty had been helping the fairies keep their party bag safe, which meant that all the parties that week had been especially exciting. Trusty and Rachel put their party dress into a bag with Charlotte's present, then rushed downstairs. Trusty's parents had to go out that afternoon, so Mrs. Tate had arranged for the girls to go to Charlotte's house a little early. "We have met nearly all the party fairies now," Trusty said, as she and Rachel walked along the road. Rachel counted them off on her fingers. Cherry the cake fairy, Melody the music fairy, Grace the glitter fairy, Honey the sweet fairy, and Polly the party fun fairy, she said. "So the only two we have not met are Phoebe the fashion fairy and Jasmine the present fairy," Trusty put in. "I wonder if we will see one of them today." Rachel could not help smiling as they walked up to Charlotte's front path. "I expect so," she said. "Those goblins will not be able to resist another chance to try and get a magical party bag. One of them is bound to cause trouble, and then Phoebe or Jasmine will have to come and set things right." The girls knew that Jack Frost had sent his goblins to steal the party bags because he wanted to use fairy magic at a party of his own. It was to rival the Fairy King and Queen's surprise Jubilee party, which had been organized by the fairy godmother for the end of the week. Trusty and Rachel had both been invited to the Jubilee celebrations as special guests. They were determined to make sure that Jack Frost and his goblins did not spoil everything by stealing the party fairies' party magic. Trusty rang the doorbell, and a few moments later, Charlotte answered the door. "Happy birthday," cried Trusty and Rachel together. But then, Trusty noticed how sad her friend was looking. "Is everything all right?" she asked in concern. Charlotte did not seem to be in a party mood. She was not wearing a party dress, and she was not even smiling. "No," she wailed. "Everything is not all right. My best dress has been ruined." "Ruined?" Rachel echoed. "How?" Charlotte held the front door open. "Come upstairs and see," she said miserably. Trusty and Rachel gasped when they saw Charlotte's white and gold party dress hanging on her wardrobe door. It had messy splotches of what looked like green paint all over it. "Oh no," Trusty gasped. "How did that happen?" Charlotte looked close to tears. "I do not know," she said. "This morning it was perfectly clean." Charlotte's mom, Mrs. Ingle, came in. Her mouth fell when she saw Charlotte's spoiled dress. "Charlotte," she exclaimed, You have not been painting in your best dress, have you? No, Charlotte cried. I just came upstairs and found it like this. Mrs. Indow frowned. I hope your brother hasn't had anything to do with it, she said, and marched over to open the window. Will, she called down the garden, come up here at once. Charlotte's little brother, Will, stumbled into the bedroom a few moments later. He was covered in mud and looked very pleased with himself. I found loads of worms, he told the girls, happily, brandishing a small muddy spade. Will, your sister's party is starting soon, Mrs. Indow groaned. You were supposed to be getting ready. Will glanced over at Charlotte. Well, Charlotte isn't ready yet, and it's a party, he protested. Speaking of which, Mrs. Indow went on, do you know anything about this? She showed Will Charlotte's party dress, and he shook his head vigorously. I have been in the garden all morning, he insisted. Charlotte nodded. It is true, Ma'am, she said. I saw him. Mrs. Indow sighed. Well, I suppose the dress must have brushed against something, she said, looking baffled. Rachel and Kirsty glanced around the room uneasily. They were both wondering if the dress really had brushed against something, or if somebody had ruined it deliberately. Both girls knew it was just the sort of thing a goblin would do, and the green paint on the dress was an unmistakable goblin green. Rachel caught Kirsty's eyes and realized that they were both thinking the same thing. A goblin must be hiding somewhere very nearby.